In this video, we're going to have a look at reporting self-employment income in the ProFile T1 module. We're going to talk about the forms and the flow from entry to the T1. Specifically, we're going to talk about this section of the T1, the self-employment income. Also going to point out a ProFile worksheet that we have. It's the self-employment form, and we'll have a look at that. What I'm going to cover here is incomes must be reported in the correct section. So if it's business income, it has to be in the business income of the T1. Each source of income has to be reported separately. There is the self-employment form, like I showed, and it shows all the different entries for all the self-employment section. The source of the self-employment income, it could be a manual entry on a 2125, could be posted from a T5013, a T3, a T4A. There's also, I'll point out, a screen for the entry of T1204, T5018, and RL1 income. With all that discussed, let's go have a look at ProFile and see how this all looks in the program. I'm on a T1 2023 tax year, and I've got business income. This snapshot here, I've got the options module to show me any changes after a snapshot. So I don't know if you guys have this set up too, but these snapshots just give you an idea what's changed since either last year or a snapshot. This information is not sent to CRA. This is only for the preparer's information. Anyway, that being said, I've got business income that's reported on a 2125. I can see if I right click that it goes to the self-employment form, but also to the 2125. There's warnings in the auditor. I have to fill in this information. Just pause a minute to fill it all in. Okay, so the preparer does have to fill in this information. And is this a communal organization? So there is the warning here. Communal organization. If I look down here, there was an amount pulled over from a T3. Right click and it will show me that. Okay, so it was a communal organization as income reported on a T3. So this is good. I've got the T3 entry. Now if I go back to the T1, it shows 21,999, but that was 2,000 on that. So I can track down where this business income is coming from. It shows 121.25. So if I go to the self-employed, as I mentioned, this was a form that is a worksheet, and it displays all the self-employed income. And if I look, I got the 2,000 here. I can go back and name this a return. Really not necessary, but at least I will be able to identify where it's coming from. What it does have, though, is part of the 21,999 is reporting from a T1204 or T5018 most commonly. If I look over here, I made an entry on the slip screen. If you are looking for the screen for T5018, I'm doing a search here now in the Form Explorer for 5018 and it doesn't show, unfortunately. If I type in T1204, it will bring up this form. So I made the entry here, and down at the bottom, I have different choices I can make. I can just put the amount there and just go and enter it on a T2125. And that would be the first box. I check the second box, and that's transfer the amount to a self-employment income business income form. And that's the one I checked, and that's why it shows up where it does on the self-employment form. The other option I have, the third one, if I don't want the first two, I can just have it entered on line 13000. Those are the choices. So if I check the second one here, what ProFile does is knows its business income, enters it on the T1. So if I look up here, I won't actually see. I just see the one with communal organization. So that's how that works. I just want to point out I'm back on the T5018 screen. I put the income there. ProFile builds a T2125 in the background. It's in the transmission that gets submitted electronically to CRA. So if I want to have that second option at the bottom, I can put the income and I have to put the expenses here too. I put some expenses here just to demonstrate. And if I go back to the self-employed, now I have the gross income and the net income. So I just wanted to put a point on that. You know, you got to report the income, but you also want to claim the expenses. So if I'm choosing that middle option, put the income and then the expenses also. The last thing I want to show is the farming income. And I've got farming income here. And if I right click, it could be on the 2042 like it is here, or the 1163. Let's go to the self-employed though. Okay, so I've got the income here and a loss. Frequently we get asked how to say it's a restricted farm loss. So if I look over here, I can click on that and say yes, and that'll show it as a restricted farm loss. Back on the T1, the adjustments have been made. We've come to the end of this video. I'll make another video about T4A and self-employed income, and I'll put a little card for it on this slide so you can view that if you want. I hope you found this video helpful, and you can get more support options at our website. It's profile.intuit.ca.